What's up, trainers? How many times have you had this happen to you? Your grass type Pokemon that was supposed to counter the water type gets taken out by an ice attack. Frustrating? Well, not if you had a Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is not a new Pokemon and has been featured by other content creators before. However, I do not run into them as often as other grass types. So in this edition, I will be featuring Ferrothorn battling in a Great League to a 5-0 lead in rank 7. With Ferrothorn, I'm running Bullet Seed, Power Whip and Thunder. Still not convinced? Just look at how Ferrothorn tanks a Blizzard from Whiscash and still lives to tell the tale. Next up, we have Shadow Mawile that was featured in my previous video. With its powerful Fire Fang, it is able to take out the likes of Registeel, Skarmory and other common grass types without having to utilize its charge move. And finally, my resident Pokemon Azumarill, running on Bubble, Ice Beam and Hydro Pump. So with that said, let's get on with the battles! On to our first match, and we are up against Alolan Raichu. With Alolan Raichu, we have to be careful of Wild Charge, as it now deals more damage. So if your opponent takes more than 3 Volt Switch to get there, chances are it is a Wild Charge and you should consider shielding up. In this case, it looks like it is a Thunder Punch. So we are letting that through as we are able to dish out our Power Whip. She switches over to Lucario. Not sure how that helps as it takes almost 50% of Lucario's health. We bring in Shadow Mawile here, and we are able to tank that Power Up Punch. And with one more Fire Fang, Lucario goes down. He brings in Skarmory, which also suffers super effective damage to Fire Fang. And we are able to chomp down almost half of Skarmory's health before getting to Play Rough. She shields and gives up the match. Okay, so we have our first game. On to our second match, and we're up against Whiscash. So we are in a good position here. Our opponent knows that too and switches out to Alolan Ninetales. So we're gonna dish out a Power Whip here just to try and bait a shield. She takes the bait. And now we are going to switch out to Shadow Mawile, as Fire Fang would deal super effective damage to Alolan Ninetales. She's able to get to a charge move. So we're going to shield up here. It is a Psyshock. And now we can continue chomping down at Alolan Ninetales with Fire Fang. Alolan Ninetales goes down. And she brings back Whiscash just in time to receive our Play Rough. Now one Mud Bomb from Whiscash can take out Shadow Mawile. So we're not going to resist here. And we will let Shadow Mawile go down. We're going to bring back Ferrothorn just in time for our Power Whip. And with no shields left, this would take out Whiscash. Whiscash goes down. And she brings in Jirachi. Jirachi is a Steel and Psychic type Pokemon. This should be a Doom Desire. It shouldn't take us out, so we're gonna let that through. And dish out Thunder. It takes a chunk of Jirachi's health. We're gonna switch over to Azumarill and prevent Jirachi from farming down Ferrothorn. Another Doom Desire coming in. Azumarill can tank that, but we'll just use the last shield here. As we get to our Ice Beam. And this should seal the second game for us. On to our third game, and we're up against Skarmory. Now, although Ferrothorn is a part grass type, it can resist flyers due to its part steel type. So we can stay in the game here, plus the fact that Ferrothorn has access to Thunder and is able to threaten some of these flyers. So as we dish out Thunder here, we see Skarmory shielding. It is taking slightly longer for its charge move, so it might be gunning for a flash cannon. We can let that through. And now we're getting to our second Thunder. Skarmory lets that through and it does super effective. We'll bring in Shadow Mawile here and Fire Fang down Skarmory. The risk of doing that late in the game is that we could get hard countered, but he brings in Azumarill instead, which isn't quite the right counter to Shadow Mawile. However, Shadow Mawile would not be able to do much damage to Azumarill with Fire Fang due to Azumarill's water typing. We are able to get to a Play Rough here. This would deal a chunk of damage if he doesn't shield, but he does. So we're gonna let Shadow Mawile go down here, as we still have Ferrothorn in the back. With no shields left, we are able to get to our Power Whip, and this would be able to take out Azumarill. Well, almost. With a sliver of health left, he is able to dish out an Ice Beam. So Ferrothorn goes down. We'll bring in our own Azumarill, and he brings in Probopass. Now Probopass is weak to water typing, but we do have to be careful of its charge move as Probopass has access to Thunderbolt. So we're gonna shield up here and dishing out Hydro Pump. This should take out Probopass and help us seal the third game. Moving on to our fourth game, and we are up against another Whiscash in the lead. So we are in a good position here. This time our opponent decides to stay in the game, and Whiscash is able to get to his Mud Bomb. We are going to let that through. As we get to our Power Whip, he should shield up here and switches over to Registeel. So we're going to bring in Shadow Mawile here, as this is what Shadow Mawile is made for. We are going to shield the first Flash Cannon coming in and start chomping away at Registeel with Fire Fang. Look at how much health it takes down. Registeel is able to get to its second Flash Cannon, so we're going to double shield here and continue farming down Registeel. Registeel goes down. And he brings back Whiscash, just in time for us to dish out Play Rough. He shields. Mud Bomb would take out Shadow Mawile. So Shadow Mawile goes down. And we bring back Ferrothorn here. He switches out, but just as we tapped on Power Whip, we should have waited for a second more to see what Pokemon he switches to. It is a Skarmory. Thunder would have dealt super effective damage, but we still have Azumarill, and we are switching Azumarill in here to tank the Sky Attack. As we try to get to an Ice Beam. Not enough to take out Skarmory. It is another Sky Attack coming in. This won't take out Azumarill yet. And he switches back to Whiscash. We are able to dish out Ice Beam now. It is still not enough to take out Whiscash. And with a Mud Bomb coming in, Azumarill will go down. We bring back Ferrothorn, and we're going to farm down Whiscash. And with Thunder ready, we are able to take down Skarmory and seal the 4th game. On to our 5th game, and we are up against an Altaria in the lead. Now, I'm very tempted to switch over to Azumarill here, but I'm also afraid of being hard countered. So this is where Ferrothorn comes in very handy compared to other grass types. With its Thunder, it is able to put pressure on Altaria, either to shield or to take damage. So we got a shield here, and we are also going to shield against Sky Attack, simply because the Dragon Breath coming from Altaria does a lot of damage. As we get to our 2nd Thunder, we'll see if Altaria decides to shield or to let it through. He shields, and both shields are down. So we are going to let that Sky Attack through now, and we can safely switch into Azumarill. Now he switches over to Torterra as a hard counter, but without shields, this Ice Attack is going to be super effective against Torterra. Torterra goes down, and he brings in Skarmory. So we're gonna get to our 2nd Ice Beam. This will deal neutral damage, but it's good enough. We are still stuck in a switch lock, so Skarmory is going to get to its Sky Attack. We are going to let that through, as we still have Shadow Marvel in the back. Azumarill goes down. Now we bring in Shadow Marvel, and we start chomping away at Skarmory with Fire Fang. Not enough to take it down yet. It is able to get to another Sky Attack, so we're going to shield this up to preserve as much health on Shadow Marvel as possible. He brings back Altaria, and we are able to get to Play Rough. With the Shadow bonus, this would take out Altaria like a deck of cards. And just like that, we have the 5th game. This last match is from a different set that I really wanted to showcase here, as we are facing off with a Bastiodon, which I know many of you would struggle against. So in a Ferrothorn vs Bastiodon face-off, we are at a disadvantage given that Bastiodon has access to Flamethrower that will one-hit KO Ferrothorn. The good news is that we still have shields and will be able to get to our charge move before Bastiodon does. Now I know that it is very tempting to bring in Azumarill to counter Bastiodon, but that leaves us open to be countered back by a grass type that my opponent would most likely have in the back. So the strategy here is to stay in a match for as long as possible and chip away at Bastiodon's health, utilizing one, if not both shields, and hopefully get Bastiodon to shield as well. Now that Bastiodon's health has dropped below the halfway mark, we are able to put pressure on Bastiodon to shield. He does shield, and that means we will use our 2nd shield for the next Flamethrower that comes in. Our next Power Whip will determine if Bastiodon will use the 2nd shield or will it go down. He decides to let it through. Bastiodon goes down, and he brings in Haunter. We are able to get to a Power Whip. He lets it through, And even though it is not very effective, it takes out almost 2/3 of Haunter's health as it is very glassy. A Shadow Punch comes in and Ferrothorn goes down. So we are going to bring in Shadow Marvel here to quickly take down Haunter before it gets to another Shadow Punch. So Haunter goes down, and there you have it, the Meganium in the back. We are in the right lineup now, with Shadow Marvel facing off with Meganium. The Frenzy Plant does not take us out, and we are able to get up to a Play Rough. This would take out Meganium if he does not shield, and he chooses to let it through. Even if he chooses to shield, we still have Azumarill in the back, which will be able to tank a Frenzy Plant and take out Meganium with an Ice Beam. Alright, this brings us to the end of our 5+1 battles featuring Ferrothorn flanked by Shadow Marvel and Azumarill. I hope you have enjoyed watching this team in action. Let me know which is your favorite battle, and do you have a favorite grass Pokemon in your team? You can tell me about it in the comments below. As we are nearing the end of Great League in Season 2, I hope to be able to release another Shadow Pokemon video featuring Shadow Arcanine. I will also be powering up a Shadow Metagross in preparation for Ultra League. So if you like to find out whether these Shadow Pokemons are worth investing in, do subscribe and be notified when those videos come out. In the meantime, keep improving your game, and I will see you in the next one.